President Trump's crime crackdown sweeping the nation.
This president could use a 7th grade class right now.
The citizens that's out here shooting and killing other black people, all these black on black crime that's happening in Chicago, all over the world, could use this 7th grade education on the justice system, on the Constitution, understanding what's right and what's wrong. How about that? The heck, we worrying about the freaking president, but you literally got people out here killing each other in your streets. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is a channel where we find the truth, seek understanding, and be the light. It's your boy Big Blue, and this is gonna be interesting. You already know the deal. If it's not on Ground Out News, I ain't see it for the most part. Trump says Chicago's next up for federal crime crackdown. On August 22nd, President Donald Trump announces at the Oval Office that Chicago is expected to become the next focus of federal efforts to aim at addressing crime, homelessness, and illegal immigration. Trump attributed his moves to Chicago growing danger under Mayor Brandon Johnson, whom he called incompetent, and stated residents are screaming for us to come. Now, screaming for us to come is kind of a stretch, and I can probably see that from Trump. There may have been those few people. He did mention specifically that there were some. Oh yeah, here we go. He mentioned that Chicago people are wearing red hats with slogans supporting him, that African American women were expressing strong desire for Trump to visit the city. I can't say that that's 100% false, but but the wording here was bad. The wording here was bad for sure. Definitely didn't have to say that. But at the end of the day, hey, Trump is trying to mobilize his troops, his National Guards, all them folk into the rest of the U.S. Well, not the rest of the U.S. So far, 19 states specifically. Now, I'm pretty sure that he's not allowed to do that. But let's go ahead and see what we got on the news system.
That he did. LT on the North Lawn. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. The president, meantime, calling it a miracle, saying D.C. is safe again.
All right, so we got Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Indiana, and Ohio. That's a lot of places that I don't think Trump will be able to send out the forces to, per my understanding. I could be wrong, but let's see.
And after he cracked down on crime right here in the nation's capital, and now that effort is actually expanding across the country.
Some of these are blue states. Most of them are red. I was wondering why New York isn't on here. Or LA. Well, Newsom wouldn't allow that to happen. Okay.
Texas Republican Congressman Pat Fallon is here with us this afternoon. This morning. It is great to have you with us. This is one of those situations, frankly, you and I have to live here. And anything that we can do to make it safer for citizens like us or for visitors in particular, I think is a very strong move by this White House.
Oh, yeah, Kevin, it's bold action. I mean, consider that the chairman of the police union in D.C. has admitted and shared that they were told to downgrade serious crimes like shootings and carjackings to lesser crimes. And even with D.C. hooking the books on their crime statistics, you're 3.5 times more likely to be killed in D.C. than you were in 2012 when a serious crime is committed. And from 2018 to 2023, carjackings are up 550%. So things are out of control. And thank goodness President Trump has taken these, again, bold actions.
Yeah, bold actions. And in particular, when you look at the numbers, I mean, you talk about homicides, none for several days, over a week. I mean, this, again, is the little slow march toward what we should expect in our nation's capital, quite frankly. There's absolutely no reason to expect to get mugged or carjacked or assaulted just because you live here. And so I think this is great action. I think most Americans can agree with that as long as they don't have TDS.
All right. So not too much information. This is just all speculation. This is just all the idea, a plan. So my thing is, based off of the information that I learned, the reason that President Trump was able to do what he was able to do in D.C. was because it's D.C. This is the capital. This is the district. This isn't necessarily a state, and is governed kind of in its own special way, which gave him the access and permissions to be able to do what he did. Now, for him to do this in other states, that's a whole completely different situation, which I'm not sure if he's actually gonna be able to actually deploy, troops over here. Georgia, yeah, Georgia was on there. I don't know. I didn't think Georgia was that bad. It's really just like DeKalb County, Atlanta area that's like bad. Or not even bad, but just like where most of the crime is. It's not really like outside of that, because outside of that, Georgia's like mostly country. So it was interesting that Georgia was on that map. I'm not sure how accurate this map is, because some of the places I was a little iffy about. Like when I'm thinking of crime places, I'm thinking of the Chicagos, the Baltimores, the, let's say, like certain parts of Florida, the Miamis. Let's see, California, which Newsom is going to allow. Some areas of Memphis, Tennessee. Like locations like this is like specific, like crime. Everybody knows that crime is high. There are cities in these states where it's like, yeah, now we don't go there because you may not come out. Well, that's being exaggerative, but it's not some. There are places where you just don't. There's a lot of places where you don't pass by leisurely, is what I'm trying to get at. So I would think that these would be the locations that are our biggest concern. But again, I don't think that he's able to do the same thing like he did in DC and these other states, unless they get permission from the governor, from the city mayors to do so. But speaking of Chicago, apparently Chicago is the next spot that Trump wants to send his troops to. And as you already know, TikTok has everybody and anybody that wants to put their opinion on the situation. So let's see what a couple of Chicagoans. Let's see what the people of Chicago got to say about Trump bringing in the squad to Chicago.
Go ahead, bring them troops. Bring your troops to the city. Over out west, out south. Sure, it might slow down a little bit. As soon as they go, running it back. Oh, and let's not forget, it's not only just the hood, west side and south side. We also got the rich areas, Lincoln Park, Lakeview, hell, River North. Gang, I just look at this as a scare tactic for people that are in the city to try to slow down violence, but I'm not too big on politics. I can't really tell you. This is just what I see looking in from the outside. I DoorDash and Uber Eats damn near every day through the hood. West side, east side, south side. Do you think the YNs give a about troops coming to the city? No. I'm just here to see how things play out.
I mean, he may have a point. That last part about the young bucks really caring. I mean, Chi-Town may be completely different from everywhere else. I don't know. I never been. But if it's happened in Baltimore, so pretty much I ain't trying to get him in trouble. So he pretty much saying that the young bucks in DC are just punks. That's what he see. That's what. But I mean, I'm just playing. I ain't trying to get him in trouble. But I can see some validity in that. That's the thing that I was thinking when we were watching the last video is how long were they supposed to stay there? Because the second that it lights up, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be right back out and doing the same thing again. I would hope that it would be different, but I mean, they didn't mention if this was a permanent thing, if they was just going to be out there for the month, if this is going to be where our tax dollars is going towards. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that the city of DC wouldn't mind being able to walk the streets and being okay for those that actually care. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that any of these other cities that, Trump plans on coming out to, they probably would be all right with it as well if this was coming out of their tax dollars, where they can go down the city of Clark, Atlanta, and actually walk around and not feel like they're about to get shot and stuff like that, or get robbed or mugged. I'm pretty sure people would be all right with that coming out of their tax dollars. Depending on which people exactly, but I mean, hey, there's plenty of stuff that I know that people aren't okay with. So, yeah, but let's go ahead and see what else we got.
Come here. Even if it's for a scare tactic, they have to come here. There's no control. There's no law and order.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago. You are neither wanted here nor needed here. Your remarks about the effort over the last several weeks have portrayed a continuous slip in your mental faculties. You are not fit for the auspicious office that you occupy. I mean, he is old, yes. But this person says, Chicago resident, bring in the National Guard. Never listen to the white liberals or their fake news media. Our city is bleeding. We need help. Listen to the actual residents of Chicago, not the lying Democrats. Look, guys, I'm not sitting here trying to switch sides, but you can't tell me. Somebody put in the comments, I live in Illinois and you can go anywhere and see JB Pritzker suck signs littering the people's yards. We can't figure out how he keeps getting elected. Hey, man, I'm not saying that every state needs to be Republican, but but who it is that we're voting for needs to be straight up. All of these blue states that are saying, oh no, our cities are just fine. Yo, get your numbers down on how many people is dying. And then you could tell me that the cities are fine. How about that?
Chicago mayor said about Dookie Booty. Watch this.
This president,
By the way, I don't like this guy at all. I don't like this guy at all. I don't like this guy at all. Everything that it's not even the stuff that I'm hearing from news sources. It's the stuff that he's saying out of his mouth. Doesn't make sense.
could use a 7th grade class right now.
The citizens that's out here shooting and killing other black people, all these black on black crime that's happening in Chicago, all over the world, could use this 7th grade education on the justice system, on the Constitution, understanding what's right and what's wrong. How about that? The heck, we worrying about the freaking president, but you literally got people out here killing each other in your streets, and I don't get, guys, please help me understand the logic behind it. Please help me understand the logic behind it. Because I just don't get it. These cities are known for their crime.
To understand the basics of the Constitution, he is provoking on sending federal troops, the National Guard, into cities to plunder them, though those entities do not have policing power. So they can't even do the very thing that he claims that he wants them to do.
He said Dookie Booty need to go ahead and take his ass back to 7th grade and learn the Constitution, because he clearly don't know what the he's talking about. Because you trying to send troops out here to police a city and they don't even have policing power. So you want them to go out here and break laws. These motherfuckers is just making up as they go. They not following no laws. They not following no Constitution. They just doing what the they want to do. But he better get correct, because the people of Chicago, it sure don't look like they're going to be too welcoming to any troops in their city.
Okay, so explain to me exactly what are they going to do? What are they going to do? How are they going to stop the troops? I don't see it happening, but how are they going to stop the troops if that situation was to come? They're going to fight them? The second they put their hands on the troops, that's it. The second that harm comes on the troops, that could be the person's life. Is all of this worth it? I'm lost. Please help me understand, guys. Help me understand.
Yeah, they not playing. They don't want you in their state. They don't want you sending no troops to their state. Crime rate is down, and you trying to send troops to every city that has a black mayor or governor talking about the crime rate, knowing that the crime rate is down. Well, he don't know, because he believes all his lies too, y'all.
And based off of the video that I just did last time, where they were talking about DC's crime rate is down, but I literally saw videos of the last 2 years where the liberals were complaining that they need help, that they were literally saying they need the National Guard to come to DC, literally within the time frame that they said that crime was down. So help me, how? And I'm not sitting here getting upset because of because of the politics behind it. Again, I'm not a Trumpy. I'm doing what makes sense. It's a matter of finding wisdom and finding peace. There's peaceful matters and then there's difficult matters. When you commit a crime, then you pay the price. So because these cities just so happen to not have enough law enforcement to reduce the crime, get some backup. Okay, great. Why is it that, and that's the thing that's bothering me, why is it that people are not okay with this? Granted, yes, this very well may be a case where Trump constitutionally cannot do this, especially without the permission of the governor, of the mayor. This is, and he gets reign over DC because it's DC. That is absolutely fine. But if I was a governor and I was a mayor and there's people dying in my streets every day, every other day, once a week, once a month, even, and it just keeps happening, there's constantly drugs and there's constantly robberies. And then I see Trump bringing the National Guard and then crime literally decreases. Streets are silent. Why wouldn't I think, hey, can you do that over here? Why wouldn't I want that? Somebody please, for anybody that's on the liberal side that just thinks that Trump is just doing the absolute worst and that this has nothing to do with, again, I am not a Trumpy whatsoever. But if there's something that's going on and it's costing people their lives, if there's a solution to it, I'm going to go with the solution, because I don't want people losing their lives, because that person that's losing their life could be me. It could be somebody I know. It could be my kid. Why wouldn't I want crime to decrease? Why don't people want crime to decrease? I don't understand what the issue is, aside from the fact that it may be constitutional. Okay, that's absolutely fine. But if that's the case, wouldn't you want to encourage your governor, your mayor to allow this to happen? If it was within their permission, if it was within their jurisdiction to do so, to allow President Trump to bring in the National Guard, wouldn't you want that? I just don't get it. I'm just out here trying to live a peaceful life. That's all I want, to live a peaceful life. Yet for some reason, it seems like all these liberal areas, they just seem to think that this is something that, oh, it's unlawful, it's unjust, and he can't do that. So we're gonna go completely against him. He's out of his range. He shouldn't be able to do these type of things. Homie's trying to bring peace. And even if he uses this as a cover up or whatever it is, or a scare tactic, so to speak, if I could walk outside and not be afraid that somebody's going to mug me, yo, do what you got to do, bro. Do what you got to do. Because honestly, I have nothing to worry about. I don't do nothing. I go to work, I come home. When I was younger, I went to school, I came home. I went to play basketball, I came home. I wasn't doing anything that I wasn't supposed to be doing. I wasn't outside longer than I needed to be. And if you were there, clearly you were breaking the law. If you're at the park and there's a curfew at the parks, you're breaking the law. It's as simple as that. If you're out here walking around and you look suspicious and a cop stops you, just be cool and chill. Figure out where exactly are you going. Where are you going, sir? Where are you going? I still haven't been given a better reason outside of everybody saying this is unconstitutional. Trump can't do this. You really care more about the Constitution? You really care more about the Constitution than people dying every day, or however often that they die in Chicago, in DC, in Baltimore, in LA, in Miami, in Clark, Atlanta, Georgia, in New York? This is what we care about? New York may not be as bad as it used to be, but this is what we're caring about. Really? It doesn't make sense to me. Where are the priorities right now? Because we're caring about stuff that's done past, that's done over with, and it's whatever. We are where we are right now. What can we do right now? I don't know, y'all. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think as usual. And again, if you're a liberal, if you're a lefty, if you don't like anything that Trump is doing, please provide me with something solid. Don't just tell me that it's unconstitutional. And don't tell me that crime is down. Because if I go to Chicago, and I look at videos from last year, from the past 2 years, whenever they say that crime is down, just like I did with DC, I will make a video about your post, because these are people's lives that we're talking about, people's peace of mind and sanity that we're talking about. You can't put a price tag on your peace of mind, on your sanity. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.